Hey everybody, it's Maggie, your substitute teacher. You all know me from my cooking channel. I make food and femininity content, but today I got a very special unboxing I wanted to do with you all today. I was sent a very special item from Curated Scents, so let's take a look here. If you all know me, you know that I love fragrance. I actually have a candle behind me, so maybe we have a new one to replace it. So Curated Scents reached out to me and asked if they could send me one of their candles. So I can't wait to unbox it and smell it and light it for you all. They sent a very nice little note in here. You all know my name is Margaret. Maggie is my childhood nickname. So there's a beautiful little card. It was packaged very well. Oh, thank you so much, Curated Sense. I appreciate it, and I'm happy to support. So if you haven't heard of them, the website is curatedSensellc.com, and you can also find them on Instagram at Curated Sense. It says, we are a minority-owned candle business. That's wonderful. Established in summer 2020, we here at Curated Sense LLC provide homemade, all-natural soybean wax candles scented with all-natural essential oils. So that's wonderful. The vessels for the candles are made with recycled liquor, wine, and beer bottles, so also sustainable. We take pride in providing quality, amazing smelling candles that will help turn your house into a home. So let's see what we have in here. Packaged very nicely. Ooh, gosh, it's nice and heavy. So I stopped short of this part. I wanted to unbox it with you all. Oh my gosh, this is beautiful. The color. Oh, it smells incredible. Now the bottle says Calvé sparkling wine. I'm not sure exactly which scent this is, but this color alone, it's so elegant. It's so feminine. I love that. I think they messaged me. Let me see if they told me which scent they were sending me. They have so many different scents on their website. And so I'm definitely going to light it. Ah, okay. Let's see. It's named after the Victoria's Secret perfume scent. Okay. Oh my goodness. So yes, they've sent others to other creators, but yeah, I'm just ready. I'm just ready to give it a light. But you can see here, it's beautiful whether you light it or whether you just display it. It's got a beautiful glass base. So I'm here for all natural. Looks like it's got a double wick in there. So let's go ahead and light this up. And then of course the candle's gonna take some time to kind of melt down and let that fragrance release through the house. I am really excited. So you all check them out. I'm gonna go ahead and put this out behind me. This is a beautiful way to repurpose your glass or wine bottles, and they have so many different varieties on their website. So again, thank you, Curated Scents.
What up, YouTube? Welcome back to another episode of Curated Topics. How did y'all like that video? I am so excited. First of all, I gotta shout out Maggie, the substitute teacher. Y'all go check out her channel. Thank you so much. Thank you for the support. Thank you for the wonderful, wonderful video, the candle review. We appreciate that over here at Curated Sense LLC and Curated Topics. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. That review was wonderful. I want y'all to drop a comment. Tell me how good it looks. Tell me what y'all think. I am overjoyed. I am excited to continue going with the candles. Try to tell y'all, man. We making quality products over here. Making quality products over here. So, you didn't hear it from me this time. You heard it from somebody else. Make sure you go check us out. That's curatedsenseLLC.com, and check us out on Instagram at curated_sense_LLC. We are gonna get you right. Just like she said in the video, let us turn your house into a home with one of our amazing smelling candles. They really do smell great. And as you see, we got the colors popping off. We're creating quality over here. That's all that matters. So, I appreciate you, Maggie. Thanks once again. We're going to get off into the first topic. All right, first topic. I want to talk about my Cleveland Browns. We played again on Saturday. We beat the LA Rams 19-17. First of all, I'm not even going to start it off talking about the QBs this time. Shout out to the kicker who had that game winner. Shout out. Good job, bro. We finished the preseason on out with a perfect record. That gets me a little bit excited about the season. Now, it is preseason. Don't get me wrong, it is preseason. I know that, not everybody was playing their first string and all of that, and everybody got a certain amount of reps. I'm still excited because we won games. They don't count for anything, but guess what? I'm still excited because we got the W 3 times in a row. And how often can we say that about the Browns? I mean, look, I will take what I can get. Pause. Dylan Gabriel played well again. Played very well again. He went 12 for 19, 129 yards, and got himself a TD in this game. Now see, he took that last game and he used it to propel him forward. And that's what I want y'all to do. When you succeed in whatever your first game is, whatever that is, when you get those results, don't just sit back and relax and take that as, oh, well, I won, so I'm good now. No, use that to propel yourself forward to get further and further and do well in your next performance. So then you're building up a portfolio of quality. You like how I tied that in there? But you're building up a portfolio of quality work, quality service, quality products, whatever it is that you're out there doing. You want to make sure that you're putting in quality and putting in good work. And so that is what I'm taking from this game out of Dylan Gabriel. Now, we also had Flacco off the couch come in. I just love that little moniker for him. That's Joe Flacco for y'all that don't know. But Flacco off the couch, man, he went 9 for 10, 71 yards, and had a TD. That's a pretty successful game for me, if you ask me. Playing under limited time, didn't play the whole game. Went out there like a professional and performed like he's supposed to do. Showed that he is still experienced. Showed that he is still, got the arm. Pause. And he did his thing out there. Got us a TD. Good job, Flacco. Great job. Shador, he played all right. I don't think he had as many minutes as the other guys. He went 3 for 6 for 14 yards. That's not too bad. I didn't see how long he was out there. I was actually kind of in and out of the game because I had another event going on that I went to. And I think to close the video on out, I'm going to add some videos from that event that I went to. So I'll do that as I close out, and y'all will get a chance to see kind of what I saw. But anyway, Shador, he played all right. I would like to see. I don't know if this is going to happen, but I would like to see him and Dylan really during the actual season. I want to see what they can do up against a first string defense. Up against a first string secondary, all those sorts of things. So, he played all right. Take this time to go and learn. Take this time to, work with the guys who are around you. Study up. Get your reps in practice. And then, hey, when it's your time, man, let's see what you can do. I want to talk about what's going on in our QB room. We had, now I know there's news, but we had 6 QBs, including Deshaun. So, I really want to know what is going on with them. I heard over the weekend that we let go of Tyler Huntley, which I don't really understand. I'm thinking it's a money thing, because he performed for us as well during the preseason. I think each game that he was in, he had a pretty productive run. Didn't really do anything, out of the ordinary. Didn't really make any mistakes too much. But, why did we sign him just to let him go? My assumption is it's a money thing. And at first I was like, well, what's going on with Kenny Pickett? Well, before recording the video, I saw that we just traded him to the Raiders. So, I get it, I guess, but I also don't. I don't know why we picked these guys up just to get rid of them. Kenny, maybe we used him for some sort of trade value, but I don't understand why we just cut Huntley like that. Maybe he wanted to have more playing time and he wouldn't get it with us having Gabriel and Shador. I don't know. But y'all drop a comment. Let me know what y'all think. What are your suspicions on what happened with that? My other question is, what's going on with our run game? I have noticed, especially in these preseason games, that our run game is like, eh. I wouldn't say it's anything spectacular. I don't remember seeing Quinshon Judkins perform at all. I did hear about some rumors that he's got some off the field things going on, and I really hope not, because like, dude, you're a rookie. Like, you shouldn't have anything going on other than working on getting on the field. Like, you are a rookie. You don't have anything, like, you have everything to lose. You don't have anything. Stop with the off the field stuff, man. That goes for really all the players, but rookies especially. What are y'all doing? You're a rookie. You haven't gotten anything yet. You shouldn't be doing anything off the field. You shouldn't be doing anything off the field. To be honest, be like Baker and move into the stadium. Because off the field, really? Get that together. But that's neither here nor there. I want to see something out of our run game. We're going to need a run game in order to get any sort of pass game going. We have to be able to mix it up. And I'm just going to say this just because, like, Nick Chubb, pause. We miss you, brother. He would have been a nice addition to the squad. I think he would have had a chance to actually, fully get healthy. And that would have been the perfect guy to mix up the run game with the pass game. Get us 5-8 yards. Then we got short yardage to work with. Bust out a couple 10, 20 yarders. And then we moving on down the field. I hope that Quinshon is able to play. And I hope that he comes with that sort of production for us. So we'll see. Overall, though, for the season to start, I want to see how things go. But I'm pretty excited overall. Our quarterbacks are performing pretty well. That goes Flacco, Gabriel, and Shador. Excuse me. Our defenders, especially the new guys, they look like they're adjusting to the system pretty well. They look like they're ready to perform. So I'm very excited about this season. I'm not expecting us to, go to the Super Bowl or anything like that. I'm hoping that we have maybe a winning season. Give me 9-8. I'll be happy with that. Something that we can build off of and things of that nature. I want us to start actually solidifying some of our positions, specifically quarterback. So one of you guys perform, please, so we can lock that down and start building the other positions. We have had 40 quarterbacks in the last 25 years. That's crazy. You look at some other teams, they've had like 2, 3. Look at us, 40. That's crazy work. We need to solidify that quarterback position so that we can start building the others. We just have to. So I want to see you guys perform. If you ever hear this, just use it as motivation. Get out there and perform, man. So we can start building around you and actually build up a good squad. I want to see us as one of those perennial playoff teams. Stop letting these people talk down on the Browns, man. Let's perform. Let's prove all the doubters wrong. But enough of the Browns. We are going to move on to the motivational piece. And this is more of a informational kind of motivational side. It's going to be kind of long, but that's okay. It's something that I have been thinking about the past few weeks, and some of the previous portions of this video will tie in. So what I want to talk about tonight is the importance of networking and interpersonal relationships. So what inspired me to talk about this topic in particular was actually a few things. Like I said, it's been on my mind been something I've been thinking about. But with me entering my new career that I started, I've actually met a lot of new people, all of whom I consider to be valuable, all of whom have some great insights and have taught me things. And then they've also helped me to kind of reflect on myself, reflect on my life, help motivate me to do things like this and share the knowledge that I have, share the experiences that I have. And that's kind of what got me to thinking about the importance of having a good network and having a vast network. Now, I have actually been thinking about how to expand my network for the past couple of years. And I've been working on that. I've been trying to meet people, been trying to meet people who are like minded with me, and even people who, we may not share the exact same goals, but we think kind of the same. We have similar goals, we have similar ambitions, and we can help each other out. Um, I have met a couple of people over the last few years where I know that I can call them up and say, hey, hey, like, what's going on? I need help with this, or just to talk, or, we may just shoot the breeze a little bit. But it's the importance of networking that allows me to do that, and I wanted to share that with you all. I know a lot of people, they don't really like people that much. They don't like talking to people that much. They like to be in their own world. They like to do their own thing, and that's okay too. I completely understand that. I have that side of myself as well. But when it comes to feeling like you're lost, when it comes to feeling like you're alone, when it comes to feeling lonely, and when it comes to trying to figure your way out of some of those things, your network can really help you. And so that's what kind of got me thinking about this topic tonight. Another thing, and this just kind of said, yeah, this is the thing to do. This is the topic for tonight. Over the weekend, an episode was dropped by El Guapo over on Beautiful Lies. And in this particular episode, he did a joint live stream with three other guys, Obsidian, Theo Waf, and Andre from Love Crossing Borders. I believe that's the channel name. And this was a great conversation. And it really solidified me in, oh yeah, I'm going to do this as the topic for this evening. Without going into too much detail about what the episode was, because I would like, actually, if you're interested, go over to Beautiful Lies and check out his most recent live stream. El Guapo, you did a great job with that live stream. That's probably, I'd say that's in my top 5 out of your live streams that I've watched. Maybe like number 2 or number 3. There was another live stream that's definitely my number 1. The one where you talked about, you cover some religious content and stuff like that. I left a whole bunch of comments on that one. That's probably my number 1. But this was either number 2 or number 3. And like I said, without going into too much detail about it, what you saw is you saw 4 successful brothers come together in like a like-minded collective and not only share a little bit about their own experiences, but also they gave you a vision of what each one of them had to offer for the collective event that they will be putting on. So they're going to be doing a conclave event. This is an event that is mostly centered around men, but they do have some portions that are for the ladies as well. So if you want, go and check that out. That's posted on El Guapo's page as well. I may put the link in the description. But what you saw is these 4 guys come together, and you can tell that they all are very like-minded. They want to see others succeed. They want to help build not only each other up, but other people as well. And you saw them come together and add value to the same thing, but in 4 different ways. They each have their own skill set. They each have their own strengths. But you saw them come together as a network, and they really complemented each other very well. And that is what solidified me in being like, yeah, I need to do this as my topic on Monday. I really enjoy those times where I'm thinking about something. And let me know if you've ever experienced this. You're sitting there, you're thinking about something, and it's on your mind, and then you come across something else somewhere else, and they're talking about what you're thinking about. That just lets you know, do it. Do it. Because one, great minds think alike. But two, I'm not pushing religion on anybody, but this is God letting you know you're on the right track because He has other people thinking in similar ways as you. That lets you know, do it. Just do it. Okay, so let's talk about it. Let's get into the topic. So, what is a network? A network refers to a group of individuals who are connected by relationships. They're they're sharing information, potentially collaborating, and they have shared interests, ambitions, and goals. Your networks, they can be formal, which are going to be your professional connections, or they can be informal, which is just, your friends or people you associate with. The purpose of a network is to leverage those connections that you make for support for yourself, but also for you to support those who you are connected to. So that means there's mutual benefits. And why is that important? Well, for yourself, this can create job opportunities. This can create other opportunities for you to be successful. Let's say you're looking for a job and you're in a career field where you don't see a bunch of jobs, advertised on Indeed, or you don't see a bunch of jobs that are advertised out to the public. Well, if you have a strong network, you may know somebody who they are aware of an unadvertised position. And because you networked with them, because you know them, they may be able to put you in position for you to get that job. I've had the unique experience of actually being one of those people who I was able to hook my friends up with jobs. So I have one friend, and I was working. This was when I was working in the lab. I was working in the lab, and they really liked my work. They said, you do a quality job. You're doing well. Do you know anybody else? Because we're looking for other people who work like you. And I said, well, yeah, give me a day or two. I can reach out. I can see who's available, see if any of my friends are looking, that sort of thing. And I was able to get one of my friends a job there, and they were going to start him off working in the lab, with me. But then they looked at his resume. They saw he had other skill sets, and he ended up working in a completely different department. And even though I have left that job since then, he is still there and he is still thriving and he is still doing well for himself, still gaining experience and all of that. And so that's part of how I was able to be valuable to someone else, and I was able to help them grow. I have another friend, and this one's actually, he's one of my family members. We ended up working together. I did like a over the summer internship, and we ended up working together because similar situation. They asked me, hey, do you know anybody else who's like you, who's interested in this type of work? And I said, oh yeah, I got the perfect guy. Put him in that position. He was able to network with some people there and talk to them. They loved him. And then he ended up going off and working further in that sector. And he is in the service right now. So thank you for your service. But he is still working in that industry, and he joined the service to further himself in that industry. So, like I said, I was able to be of some value to somebody else, and it didn't necessarily put money directly in my pocket, but it helped my network. It helped those people who I do care about grow and succeed in their skill set, in their industry, in their career field, and it helped boost their expertise and their experiences. And by doing so, that puts a smile on my face. That makes me feel good because I was able to help somebody else who was in need. So that's the way of me being beneficial to my network. Now, when, you know, I needed something or I needed some help when I was looking for a new job, I had one of my friends who he ended up working for a different company but in the same sector, and he helped me out by getting me into the room, getting me an interview for a job at the company he was at. I ended up going to a different career field, but that's how we are mutually beneficial. I helped them, they helped me. That's mutually beneficial. And it's those types of things that are important when it comes to establishing a good network. People in my network have supported me with my business. When I was just starting out with my candle business, did not know where to go to get customers all like that. I just started sending people messages, but I started with my friend group. I started with the people who I knew. The first time I ever sold candles, I think I sold like 4 or 5 in one day, simply because my friends were like, "Oh, you're doing what now?" "Oh, yeah, well, I know they're going to be good. I know they're going to smell good because you're a person who cares about quality. And so, yeah, I'll check them out." It's those types of things that where having a network can really help you. Having a network can help you by producing lifelong friends. When I met my one buddy working at the lab, we are now lifelong friends. He doesn't even live in the state anymore, but we call each other periodically. We talk about stuff like the Browns and how bad they're about to be. We hope they're going to be good, but we know they might be bad. And that's okay. But we still link up from time to time. We still make sure we call each other. Matter of fact, I gotta call you this Sunday because I've been forgetting. But we do those things because we were able to create an interpersonal relationship with each other, and it has continued on into a friendship. It's funny because when he left our job, I told him this, just kind of, we went and, got some drinks on his last day. And I told him this just being funny. I was like, all right, we're no longer coworkers. We can actually be friends now. And he laughed and he was like, well, what we been doing this whole time. And it was just a joke because we had been friends, but, you know, it went from, okay, you're moving on to do something else great for yourself. And we can now keep our friendship going past just being, good coworkers and having a good working relationship. We can actually, be real friends. So, what's another way a network can help you out? Well, it can help you because of the sharing of information. Now, I've kind of shared on this a little bit before, but you will end up knowing more by having a good network. You and your network can connect to share information. You can share advice with each other and resources that can be beneficial. This creates access to new and valuable information because it comes from a range of knowledgeable people. So, you might have some friends who, let's say, they work in your industry. Well, they may hear about some new developments or they may learn some new techniques that others are using in the industry, but you haven't learned yet. So when you come together as your network, when you all get together as a collective, that might be something that you talk about. Hey, well, we're doing this. Did you hear about this? We learned this new method. Are y'all doing that over there? Those sorts of things. And that's going to help you out. That's going to increase your knowledge so you can take that back to whatever it is you're doing and be more valuable. You'll have more experience. You'll have more knowledge under your belt. Or you can, use that to learn a new skill. I'll give you another example. So my old coworker who we were working in the lab together, we were supposed to be studying together for a certification. And I say supposed like that because we both have been bad on calling each other or setting up time. But that's life sometimes. He's studying, I'm still studying, so no bad blood or anything. But we're studying for a certain certification. And once we get it, we'll be able to move up. He's a little bit ahead of me, so he's sharing, little tidbits of information like, hey, make sure you study this. Hey, make sure you know about this. Make sure you know this certain technique down, and all the rules. He shared with me what books that he got so I could have some direction on what books to buy. I shared with him what books I got just in case he didn't buy them. All that sharing of information is going to make us both more knowledgeable, but it also makes us both more efficient in terms of, okay, what is it that I need to know? What is it that I need to study? So that we can be better prepared when it comes time to take the test for the certification. And those are the types of things that are important about a network. When you're with your network, you should discuss matters of importance. That way your information can be shared, but also by discussing matters of importance on a regular basis, you get more comfortable not only with your network, but you get more comfortable sharing in general. You have to be comfortable with sharing your expertise, with sharing your knowledge, with talking about what it is that you know, because you want to be taken seriously by others. People aren't going to pay attention to you if you don't sound like you know what you're talking about. So, practice on your network. Hey, this is what I'm learning about, and share with them. That helps reinforce the knowledge within your brain, but also you're sharing with others. You're getting that practice in. So then when you do go to that interview, when you do go around people who they may not really know you like that, you're more comfortable with sharing and you're more comfortable being in your element. I talk to one of my homies all the time about streaming and recording and all those things. My buddy Aaron Animal. Make sure you go check out his channel. Aaron Animal, if y'all don't know. But I ask him for advice on, hey, does my camera look good? Hey, how do I transition from this scene to the next scene? How do I even build a scene? Help me get my audio together. There was one time, I think I told y'all in another video, my camera wasn't working, and he took the time out to help me figure those things out, because I don't know everything about technology, and that's fine. But because I'm open and because I'm willing to learn and because I wasn't afraid to share that I needed some help, I was able to talk to him and I learned something. So I am more knowledgeable now. I've talked to some other content creators on how to be successful, how to, do things like set up the microphone, or does my voice sound good, or just certain little things to help me be more successful. Shout out to Maggie, the substitute teacher, once again. I asked her, hey, how did you do that split screen for the stream? And she told me one of her tips and tricks to doing that. And then there was, she showed me something else where she was able to translate her review of my candle into Spanish. And it was her voice in Spanish. And I was like, whoa, this is wild. This is crazy. I have never seen anything done like this so quickly. But just by sharing and talking and asking those questions, now I'm more knowledgeable on how to do some things. So some of the ideas that I have now can come to fruition because, okay, I learned this little tip. I learned this little trick. So now I'm getting more prepared to expand on some of the ideas that I have for my own content. And so I thank them. Thank you all once again. Whoever has answered any of my questions or helped me out, thank you again. But these are the important reasons of having a network. When you feel lost, when you feel like you don't know where to turn or what to do or what move is next, what step is next, Talk to your network. Even if they don't know much about what you're doing, they may have an outside perspective that can help you to just take a step back and, evaluate things, clear your head, get rid of some of that anxiety, and be able to move forward. So, another important aspect of networking, you have, and I talked about this before with El Guapo and Obsidian, Andre, and Theo Waf. They came together and collaborated. And not only that, but they collaborated and supported each other. Collaboration provides support, and it instills a sense of community through shared goals and, more importantly, mutual assistance. Are y'all getting the theme here with networking? There's a mutual relationship going on, like I talked about before with them. You could see 4 different skill sets, 4 different strengths coming together upon one goal. And that's really the important thing when it comes to collaboration and teamwork. You get support, but you're getting support in different aspects where you may be weak. Think about it like a cog in a machine. If you got, hold on, I got to get around my mic. If you've got 2 cogs, it doesn't help if they are clashing like that. They have to be offset to come together to mesh to run the machine. So what does that mean? That means that they don't necessarily have the same strengths. Maybe not the exact same strengths, but they complement each other in a way to get a goal done. For example, you might have somebody in your network who's good at writing. Okay, that guy's good at writing. But what if he's not so good at speaking? Well, you may have another person in your network who's good at speaking and can orate the things that are written down. If you think about it in terms of business, you might have one person who's good at developing the product, but they're not that great at selling it because they don't know how to talk about it. They don't know how to market it. Well, they're going to need somebody who is good at marketing, who they know how to advertise the product that they have. They know how to convey the quality of the product that they have and sell it. That is why collaboration and support is one of the cornerstones of networking, but that's why it's so important. You're able to get a goal done with like-minded people, but these like-minded people may have different strengths. You're able to expand your reach. Networking helps you expand your reach. So you're going to increase your connections both personally and professionally. You're going to meet like-minded people. Some of them are going to be in the same industry as you or a similar industry as you, which can introduce you to more people with similar goals. By being in that same industry, you can start to create that web of connections with multiple people who have similar goals as you. And that can help you achieve your career goals by connecting with those people, increasing your knowledge, but you get a chance to provide evidence of your expertise and of your experiences. You get a chance to share the knowledge that you know. Remember in my last video, I talked about healthy competition. Your network should be healthy competition as well. You see your guy grow, so it makes you want to grow too, because you can't be the only person not growing. You can't be the person that's lacking. You have to present that value to the network, that mutual benefits. Okay, he's able to help me, but I can't just be the guy who only needs help. I can't just be the guy who, well, I'm always got my hands out so that I can receive. No, you have to be able to give as well. That's where the healthy competition comes in this manner with your network. It also comes in because you see somebody achieving and it makes you want to achieve. You're learning something from somebody else who's knowledgeable. So it makes you want to be able to share your ideas and present so that they can say, hey, I learned something from that guy. Just how you want to be able to get some benefits, they want to be able to get some benefits too. And that will increase your value. Now, it can also, and having a network can also introduce you to people who they may have been where you've been before. And so that puts you in a position to use them as a mentor so that you can achieve your goals. They can help you solve your problems that you may face early on in your career or as you move throughout your career. They can also help you move up and get promoted. They can share with you strategies for you to succeed and to do well. And they're a place where you can test your ideas. So I'm going to talk about my experience with KS. So anybody who knows who KS is, you know. He did a lot of content that he's famous for doing content that talks about relationships. But before that, he actually did a lot of men's related content. And me, when I like somebody, when I like something, I go and I look into the history of it, right? And so I went and I looked into the history of KS, and I went and I watched a lot of his old videos and a lot of the men's content, and I was able to use a lot of that in order to become more successful both in my personal and professional life. I actually shared this as a comment on one of his videos or one of his lives, I think, where I said, hey man, thank you because you have helped me almost, I think at that point, I had almost doubled my salary in under 2 years. Some of the advice that he had given, just some of the little tips and tricks helped me to do that. And so I've had some other mentors as well, and I've been able to bounce ideas off of them. I've been able to use their expertise when it came to problem solving, when it came to approaching other aspects of my professional life. And that is part of the importance of having a good network. Your network shouldn't just be people your age. It shouldn't just be people your experience level or expertise level. Your network should include lots of people who are smarter than you, lots of people who are more experienced than you, lots of people who have done it before, because that's what's really going to help you move forward. We all need help. There's nobody out here who is self-made, and I know I've said that before. There's nobody out here who is self-made. We're all going to need advice at some point in our lives. We're all going to need that person who's going to help us move forward. Otherwise, it's just going to be a long trek. Lastly, you get a chance to meet people who are in different industries, but they can still help you. And how? They help you because they can have an outside perspective. There's sometimes where you're going to be so bogged down in what you're doing that you can't see necessarily what the problem is, or you can't address it in the right way. And when you talk with your network, when you meet with them, when you talk about certain things, they may be able to give you a different perspective on what's going on. I'll give you an example. At one of my previous jobs, we had a lot of drama. And I mean a lot of drama. And it was very frustrating for me because it felt like every week I'm trying to figure something out, and it really has nothing to do with the job. It is like I'm managing egos. I'm managing like this one said this and that person said that, or just, we finally got something going in a good flow and now they just want to change things up. Why are they making these types of decisions? Blah, blah, blah. And I got together with some older people in my network, and, they asked me, well, what's going on? You seem just kind of stressed out, frustrated. And I was like, listen, I'm going through it at work. These things are happening, and so one of them, he pulled me to the side. He said, hey, let me talk to you for a second, try to help you out, see what's going on. Tell me something that happened in the past week. And so I told him, and he said, okay, I know nothing about, being in your industry, but this sounds like something is going on from a business aspect. This might not be you and the team you're working with, but it sounds like some other things are happening from the business perspective, and therefore is causing drama in this way, and that's why things are happening like that. And so he gave me a few tips and ideas on what was going on. And he said, just watch for the next week or two just to see what happens. And sure enough, he called it. It was something going on business related that was causing all these changes. It was causing all the drama. And I was able to remove myself from that because of his perspective. Now, he didn't work in my career field at all, but he was able to share something with me because he saw it before, because he's more experienced than me, but also he was able to look at it from an outside view. And that really helped me. And things like that can help you. So have a variety when it comes to your network. Don't just look for people who are only in your industry. Everybody has something of value that they can offer. Everybody has some knowledge or some experience that they can share with you. Networking can cause you to expand your reach beyond your immediate circle. So, beyond that initial group of friends. Now, that's very important because networking is all about expanding your web of connections. Now, you may meet people who are unfamiliar to you on your own. So you might meet a bunch of new people simply by networking on your own. You're at an event, you're talking to people, people want to know who you are. You start meeting more people and networking. But you can also have it where your network, your circle can introduce you to other circles. And that's an even greater form of expanding your reach. You might not even be in the room, but because you're a person of value to your network, because you helped this guy out, he may be like, oh, you need somebody? I know the perfect guy. Or they're talking about, something that you're an expert in. I know the guy to go to. That's your network working for you, and you're not even in the room. That's passive growth right there. Your network takes you into account, understands your value, and is able to put you in position without you even having to be there. And that all creates a wider web of connections for you. So, what's my advice? If you don't have a network, you need to start one. Having a network increases your interpersonal skills. You have to be social to increase your network. Now, for my guys that don't like to talk, for my ladies that don't like to talk, that's okay. I understand. There are times where I don't really like to talk. I don't really like to be social. It took a long time for me to get to where I was even comfortable speaking to a bunch of people, let alone a bunch of new people. But you have to work on those interpersonal skills. You have to work on being more social so that you can increase your network, because that's what's really going to add to your value. That's what's going to add to your worth. Increasing your network makes you more visible. As you network effectively, you become a familiar face and you become easily recognizable. People will want to get to know you, and that gives you an opportunity to showcase your knowledge, to showcase your skills, and to showcase your experiences. And not only that, as you go along, it will all become easier. People will get more familiar with you, so you won't have to go through as much. Not only that, because you have practiced doing it, it will be easier. The more you start to speak with others, the more you start to do those public speaking, the more you start to meet new people and make new friends, it all becomes easier. This increases your soft skills. So, soft skills like communication, teamwork, problem solving, all those are going to increase. And by doing that, ultimately, you're going to build up your self confidence. You're going to build up that self worth. You're going to understand your own personal value. Networking develops your social skills, and it does it in a few ways. So, I'm going to talk about two main ways. You're going to be able to sustain and maintain your current relationships better and more effectively, and you're going to be more effective when it comes to starting new relationships. Like I said before, practicing how to strike up new conversations. That will help you become more self assured and more comfortable. And all of those things are going to help build up your self confidence. All of those things are going to help build up your self esteem. Forming bonds increases your mental and physical health. By speaking with people, learning more, sharing knowledge, all those things, you're going to build up your self worth and value. Now, when it comes to physical health, let's say you're in a network where you got guys who they always are going to the gym, or you join a run club. That's a form of a network, and you're going to be in healthy competition, but you're going to be pushing yourself to be a better version of yourself, both mentally and physically. Networking can be valuable in aspects of your life outside of business. We talked about building those lifelong friendships. I'm friends with people, and it's not simply because of business anymore. My old coworker, he left from the team, but because we had that good working relationship, because we had a good interpersonal relationship at work, we were comfortable enough with each other to be friends outside of work. And now we have a lifelong friendship. I know that if I need something, I can call him. I know that if he needs something, he can call me. And I hope he knows it too. Ultimately, networking can help you follow your dreams. Your network can help you in many different ways, and it can help you follow your purpose. When it came to doing these videos, I had wanted to do something where I shared with people for a long time. I just didn't know what to do. I was like, well, should I write a book? Should I, how do I become a motivational speaker? Like, how do I put myself out there? And I talked to my network. My buddy Aaron Animal, he does videos. He said, well, why don't you try YouTube? I was on YouTube. I was, looking at some other content creators. Now, they're not all in my personal network, but I got some ideas by watching them and things like that. So, your network can really help you when it comes to figuring out what it is your purpose is and giving you direction to chase your dreams. What's your dream job? Your network might help introduce you to it. It can help you in your creative ways. I just shared with you how I got started with the videos. It can help you bring your vision to light. You have to be trusting of other people and knowing their value and how they can help you out. Also, you have to be helpful to them. You have to be helpful to them. All those things are going to help build you up. They're going to help build your confidence, and they're going to put you in a position to chase your dreams. Your network is going to provide you with people who can fill those spots that you lack and get you to move forward. We're all about building each other up over here. I want to see everyone be successful. Now, I recognize that not everybody is going to be successful, but if these videos can help someone, if these can help put you in the right direction, if they can show you the way to do and to be the best version of yourself, that's all right with me. So that's it for the motivational piece. We're going to move on to some music. The album of this week, I finally got around to it. I listened to the JID album. That is God Does Like Ugly. And I gotta say, I like this album. I like this album. Um, it's probably in my top five for the albums that have dropped recently. I still got I still got either the Clips or the Freddie Gibbs album as winning album of the year. Those are my two nominees, but I could see this album being nominated as well. This album was really, really good. Very lyrical. JID's always pretty lyrical, but he was killing it with this. I like the way he was flowing. I like some of the metaphors that he was using. I like the lyricism. And of course, y'all already know the beats. I'm a beats guy. The beat selection was very, very well done. Very well done. So, what's my top what's my top songs from the album? I'm really, really liking two so far that I've had on repeat. Um the number one song is called Work, and that is a club banger. I played that in my car. I had the car almost all the way up. I had people I had people outside my car asking me what the name of the song was when I stopped at the red light. That song is a banger. I don't know if y'all know he did one song and it was like the ceiling challenge came out. Well, this is the ceiling challenge part 2. So, if y'all know what I'm talking about, I hope that challenge starts back up cuz this song will get it popping. Um the other song I like is called Glory. Now that is it's got the kind of like church beat to it, but that song is really good too. I really like I said, I'm a lyricism guy, but I'm also a beats guy. I like the way that he fits on the songs. One of my early complaints, not really a complaint, but like one of my early things was sometimes I didn't feel like the beat selection was the best when it came to JID, but with this album, he did a great job. Great job with the beat selection. Great job with the flows. I give this album solid 9 out of 10. Maybe 9.5. So go and check it out. Drop a comment. Let me know what y'all think. Did y'all like this album? Have you heard it yet? What's your favorite song? Let me know. That's going to be it for today. I want to say thank you to all my listeners. I appreciate all the feedback that I've been receiving. I know this video was a long one, but I hope that you all got something out of it. I hope that it can relate to somebody, and I hope that it can point you in the right direction. I want to say thank you to all my subscribers. If you have not yet subscribed, please do so. We building each other up over here. Men, women, everybody. I want you all to be successful. I want you all to chase your dreams. I want you all to do what it is that you need to do to be the best version of yourselves. So with that, you know what I always say? I'll catch y'all on the next one.